And this is why you need sexual discipline.
Woke up in the grind, ain't no time for sleep. Pockets getting fatter while they counting sheep. Hustle in my veins, it's a fire that won't fade. Building my empire, brick by brick I laid. I wear the crown, the throne is mine. Every step I take, I redefine.
What's up, y'all? Cosmic Cage back with another episode. And we're keeping it up with these reaction videos. If you're not on social media or been living under a rock, or you don't know who Cam Newton is, he's a former professional athlete. He had a guest on his show and they were talking about men and women being friends. And do you know this is a polarizing conversation? Every time this comes up, you have both sides saying, yes, it's possible, no, it's possible. So we're gonna listen to their take as they talk about it on the podcast, and then I'll give my take if it's possible for men and women to be friends. Now this video is about like a little over 2 minutes, so I'll try to cut it down a little bit once I get through like the main stuff. But just bear with me, the video is a little bit longer than typical. Without further ado, let's get right into this video.
Do you have any platonic relationships in your life right now?
With a woman?
Yeah.
No.
Is that by choice?
I'm not about to be around no woman platonically. Listen.
We gotta unpack this, Cam. Why?
Because I'm not about to play them type of games.
Is it self-control?
Call it what you want.
I'm asking.
Call it may be self-control.
I'm asking.
If she fine, I'm not about to have her around playing like I don't think that she's attractive.
Is it possible to think someone's attractive and still behave yourself?
Yes.
Do you have control of them thoughts?
Yes. But I'm not about to play them games.
What
dog.
game is it?
The game of saying, hey, we not about to be friends. I don't have good-looking women that's friends around me.
So
no.
Just all the. Do you have any ugly ones? I gotta ask.
I don't even have women friends, bro. Respectfully.
Why?
I
understand you saying you're not finna play this game, but Cam, you're a smart man. I'm gonna need you to go deeper than that.
Yeah, we're gonna go deep.
I
know me.
You know you, okay?
I know me.
And what that mean?
That means if I'm around a woman long enough, I'm going to find something good in her that attracts me.
Okay, and when you're attractive, what then happens? When you're attracted, what then happens?
Sex.
Oh, God damn, Cam. Cam, this is a bigger issue than I thought we had here.
So understanding that I know what's to come from a platonic situation, I don't even play. No, I don't do that. Baby, you too fine for me. We're not doing that.
Interesting.
No.
So, okay. If I take the word friendship off of the table, do you have platonic relationships in your life that involve women?
I just told you, I don't have no attractive woman that I'm cool with that I do not have plans on stabbing.
Damn, Cam. This is my camera? Listen, my fellow listeners. Self-control is very important.
No. We're not gonna do that.
What?
Self-control is identifying, I know me.
Now, it's very healthy for you to be saying this.
We're not gonna do that.
I'm not saying it's not healthy.
Yeah.
But there's something deeper to this conversation, Cam.
You heard both of their takes on the topic itself. I want to start by this. We have to understand that our lives are a lot different than celebrities or athletes. As you know, Cam Newton, #1 overall draft pick, former Heisman Trophy winner, made millions of dollars in the NFL, and obviously is now continuing his media career after his playing days. Cam is like a 0.01% of men in the world. I want to make sure that regular, everyday people don't uphold a lot of principles that celebrities have. I think discipline is one of the biggest downfalls for men. Principles over pussy. And it's very simple. If you have to sacrifice your principles, if you have to sacrifice who you are just to get some sex, there is a bigger problem in this situation. There is countless amount of women in this world. There is countless amount of opportunities to have sex. You have to understand the importance of every aspect of your life than just chasing after a woman for sex. Because you can lose out on so many opportunities because you are so narrow-minded on one thing only. And this is where I go into a lot of the things that's different between a celebrity and an everyday person. We have to understand in this current time, a lot of the things when it comes to career and job opportunities and just general opportunities and a bunch of different things can come from women. I do think it's possible for men to be friends with women. And I think it can be very beneficial. On top of the fact that you could network, you could get job opportunities, you could get other opportunities. You might be a better fit for one of her other friends. There's so many other opportunities that you can get. You might get another insight, because I think when you, especially if you're in a relationship or you're talking to people, I think getting a little bit of feedback from women and from men can give you a good balance on like just your thought process on what's going on. Sometimes as a guy, you're only thinking of it in your brain and how people would consume it and how you think it should be processed. You're not thinking like, okay, based off of like women, their history and a lot of the stuff that goes on, how would they think like this? And I think that's where perspective comes in. So I think it is very beneficial for men to be friends with women. With that being said, a lot of men do not have genuine friendships with women. They're just men in the background waiting to hit. This is a constant thing I see all the time. They're friends, but as soon as you give them an opportunity and you throw it, they're ready to throw away that friendship. So if it wasn't really a real friendship, and I talk to a lot of women about this as well, because they could be leading you and giving you terrible advice because they don't want to see you with no other guy. And they want to give you the advice that sounds good in the moment because they just plotting and waiting on the opportunity. The fact that we lack sexual discipline has contributed to the point that people don't think men and women can be friends. I'll tell you this, straight up from experience, I had 2 friends that I knew for at least 10 years. And I decided to dabble and go over to the other side. Obviously, this is 10 years in, we decided to do this. And it was one of the worst decisions that I did, because not only did I lose them, I lost my 10-year friendship. At the end of the day, when you get older in life and you understand the true meaning of meaningful connections and chasing it for something that, lasts 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, you start to get the balance in that stuff. And I think it's very important as a man to just have discipline in life and everything, whether that's drinking, whether you smoke, whether it's sex, anything that gives you these quick little dopamine or excitement from a little moment. We have to be able to control this. Our emotions, how we react to things, how we process things is so important when it comes to dictating our future success. And I think if we were able to have better sexual discipline, I think that a lot of situations could be solved and a lot more situations could lead to positive interactions. For me, how I kind of helped with my sexual discipline was just taking a break. Like, I just unplugged from the dating world. I took 3 to 4 months off and I just focused on everything else, and that wasn't my opportunity to think about sex. I put time into family, I put time into friends, I put time into growing skill sets, building a community. All these different things become options when you realize, oh, I have a lot more time and clarity. When you understand the balance of these things, when you come back into the dating world, you start putting up with a lot less BS, because you're not chasing something. You're not chasing lust. You are chasing something a little bit more meaningful. You don't have to want a relationship to want something meaningful. Any connection you have with anyone, I would hope, is meaningful, especially if you're an adult. I think time is so precious, and when you waste it on a bunch of temporary people that don't bring anything into your life, I think that is a waste of resource, because it's the one thing you can never get back. And to go into a little bit of what Cam said, is like part of self-control is knowing myself best. Yes, it definitely is. We have to know our strengths and our weakness. So I completely agree in that sense of like, you need to know what your weaknesses are, and you can kind of avoid them by just not putting yourself in these situations. That's completely right. But you should never use that as a crutch to limit your opportunities. Again, you have to remember, Cam Newton has opportunities because he's a former professional athlete and he has millions of dollars. Everyday regular people do not have this to start with. So if you can't have a meaningful relationship with someone who might progress your career because you're attracted to her and all you could think about is sex, think about if that is really what an adult think like, or a kid or a teenager thinks like. And I really want you to think about that when you're processing a lot of these situations. And plus, if she's not throwing you any hints, why would you want to even try? Most men start to learn that if a woman isn't interested in you and doesn't throw any signs at you, it is kind of a waste of time to continue to pursue and chase her. I talked about that in a prior video about chasing women, because you realize it is a bad investment to chase. You have to get something reciprocal. So if you have a female friend or a woman friend and she is not throwing you signs and you continuously trying to knock it down, like, what are you really doing? You don't even understand. You could have used her, go out to an event or something, be like, yo, I find that girl attractive, help me get her. There's so many different opportunities that you're so limiting that you don't understand because you're so caught up about sex. This is epidemic. I don't understand. There's so many young men that's never approached a woman once in their lifetime. But there's also so many thirsty men. There is so many men that just destroy relationships, destroy environments, and like career and opportunity because they can't get out of their own way and just think of lust and lust only. And I watch it continuously. I watch these men and I don't really think they understand the amount of harm they're doing. I realize there's a lot of people, even if you have a little bit of success of something, you think it's successful, so you keep doing it. You don't understand a lot of the consequences till further on in your life, and then that's when it becomes an issue. Yes, you can say, I don't have the discipline and self-control right now to be around pretty women, but just like the other guy said, you have to find a deeper root. Why is this an issue? Now, with an athlete, it kind of makes sense because generally, most of the time, if you're around pretty women, you're most likely dating or sleeping with them because that is just the world you live in. But for a natural everyday dude, if you are not really making money or if you're not some super extravagant dude, you better learn to have some quality relationships with women because it will be beneficial for your life. As much as you hear me talking about some of the stuff that they do that is very confusing, there is a lot of benefits. And that's one thing I always want to make sure that I'm fair when it comes to evaluating men and women. My issue has nothing to do with a man versus a woman. My issue has to do with the way people act. And I will always call out if it's a man or a woman acting inappropriately. And that's the whole point of this video. Man, get some sexual discipline. Start placing real values at the top of your list. And understand that like there's so much long-term benefits of a lot of the things that you're not patient enough to want. Think about it in the gym. You don't see your results right away, but you still got to keep working on it. It happens in your career too. You go to school for all these years, you do these internships, you start at a low-end job. You don't see a lot of the benefits till most people don't see it till their 30s and 40s. The average millionaire is in their 50s. So you got to understand that most good things is going to come with a lot of work, a lot of discipline, and a lot of patience. So at the end of the day, I hope you get something from this video. I hope that you have some discipline in your life, and I hope you try to become a better person every day. Other than that, Cosmic Cage out.